I used to get really frustrated about this, and there's actually a day where your boy wanted to scream, yell, and fight, and was just pissed off because you get out here late. It's hard to get warmed up. You don't got a lot of time, and you run out of daylight. But I'm still itching. I'm constantly still itching to want to take some throws, and I don't get mad about it anymore. I take what I can get. Um, I always wish that I could take more, but I'm glad that I at least had tried and that I tried to get something in because, you know, some work is better than no work. And even though the circumstances aren't ideal and they're not perfect, and I didn't have an hour or whatever, hour and a half, 2 hours of practice, I still have the mentality that I'm going to try to get something done. I'm going to accomplish something. And that's taken me a long time to come across. That's taken me a long time to understand that it's not always just because the circumstances aren't perfect don't mean that you don't at least try and you don't put your best foot forward, because when you just give up and get frustrated, that doesn't help anything. That doesn't help anything at all. That just makes it worse. You know, you got to be constantly moving in a direction. I overthink things. I get frustrated. I'm like, how am I going to? And me asking myself that question isn't the real way to do anything. Isn't to answer that question of how to answer that question of how is to really be and to exist in that fact that it doesn't matter what happens, what circumstance that you come up against, you're going to continue to find a way to figure it out. And I found a lot of happiness in that. I found a lot of peace in that because at the end of the day, at the very very end of the day, most of the time the situation isn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. I think that you strive for perfection within those imperfections, and you find a way to get better. You have to find a way to get better, regardless of whether you get 30 minutes or you get an hour and 30 minutes. Whether you get to do 100 throws or you get to take two throws. I mean, take those two throws that you get perfectly. And that's a whole mentality of itself that has to be learned, because isn't college and this isn't high school where you get to. And I was walking past the soccer players or what have you today, and I was like, wow, it really doesn't get any better than what it was when you were younger. And I don't think a lot of people realize. I realized it, but you really realize it now that it doesn't get any better than what it is in those moments of when you're younger and you have nothing to do with train. You have nothing to do but train. And I enjoy those moments. I try to grasp those moments and not take them for granted. And now that I'm looking back on it, that's why I can keep on going, is because I appreciate what I'm given. I appreciate being able to at least come out and at least give it a good honest try, because that it takes you doing that repeatedly over and over again in order for it to come to fruition, in order for you to accomplish. It's not the fact that you know the answer already. It's the fact that you continue to work towards finding the answer. And yeah, that takes a long time to realize. And when you've trained for so long a certain way with like the team practices and all that, and you got to show up at this time versus when that all goes away, it gets interesting. It gets very, very interesting. But there is still a way. There's still a way because it's been done before. So, but alas, came out here, took some hammer throws. The ring feels funny to me. Throwing in the ring compared to throwing on the concrete, it throws me off a little bit, and that's why I'm glad it's a little bit more of a drive, and I maybe could have gotten some throws throwing at a little bit of the closer spot, but doesn't matter. I'm not about to sit here and worry about it. But alas, that's just about all I got. You already know what the deal is. Run on your toes, keep your mouth closed, lock your doors, and save your throws. Most importantly, live for another day.